What's up YouTube? This is GalacticGod, and I'm coming at you now with another behind the scenes of Yugitubing episode. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the Yugioh Anonymous meeting. Now this is a series that I do up on my channel that involves a bunch of other different Yugitubers. The series originally started out as a much different concept than what it eventually became. In this video I kind of want to give a brief behind the scenes origins of how this video series kind of came to be, and then kind of go in a little bit and talk about some of the special effects and stuff we do with the green screens, with the cosmic background and all that kind of jazz. So originally the Yugioh Anonymous meeting started out much closer in concept to that of an actual Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, meaning where a bunch of people would get together at an AA meeting and they would sit around in a circle and they would introduce themselves and say what their addiction is and then kind of tell a story. Now I was going to take this concept and kind of morph it a little bit, and instead of people sitting around in chairs in a circle, since YouTubers can't actually get together because we live all over the world, I was going to put different laptops on the chairs instead of people, and the laptops would be facing each other in a circle, and on each laptop would be a different Yugitube, and they would introduce themselves similar to how the video does now. And instead of us sitting around asking questions to each other, which is kind of what the series has morphed into now, it would be just one person recounting a story that they had, something Yu-Gi-Oh related, and then it would cut to different people's reactions during that story that they were retelling. So the person that was actually telling the story would be more like a guest uploader, and then they would have reaction shots from your Yu-Gi-Oh channel, or me, or Waffles, or Mecha Jayun, or Star Strike Duelist, or any of these other Yu-Gi-Tubers, like within their story. So when they would say something funny in the story, they would get like a humorous reaction from us, or if they said something outrageous that had happened to them, you'd get like some kind of like, oh my god kind of reaction out of a different YouTuber. And I thought it would be kind of cool to kind of sprinkle those into a guest upload kind of video. And that was kind of my original idea of a Yugioh Anonymous meeting, and it was kind of much closer to that of an actual AA meeting. But as things often do, when you start putting things together, you find out what's working and what's not. And I kind of felt like the best parts of those videos was whenever there would be kind of a reaction shot or an interaction between a couple different YouTubers. And I kind of slowly started morphing it into, instead of just one person telling a story, it would be us kind of bouncing ideas or questions off of each other and then answering them. And then from there kind of morphed into coming up with a scenario or a little story or script or whatnot. And it's kind of it's very loose when I first developed the scripts for each episode, because I want people to be kind of have a little bit of a free reign and input their own ideas into what they want to do in the episode as well. And that's kind of how it switched from being like an actual kind of AA meeting where someone tells a story to us kind of bouncing questions off of each other. And the idea of us sitting around in a circle with laptops with our pictures on it, and to also kind of fell to the wayside because I felt like it was kind of not needed really so much anymore, since the idea had morphed so much into what it eventually had become. And so from there I just kind of set out and asked a bunch of different YouTubers if they wanted to be a part of it, and thankfully a bunch of them said yes. The one other thing that I want to touch on in this video was the green screen effects that we do. I'm going to kind of give you guys a brief tutorial and overview of how it's actually done. So I'm going to use the footage that your Yu-Gi-Oh channel supplied to me in the latest video. I just had him stand in front of an actual green blanket or green screen that he had, and he said his lines in front of that. And then I took that footage and I put it into a program called Adobe After Effects. Now Adobe After Effects has a lot of really good cool tools and functions that you can use to help add in special effects. So the first thing I did was kind of cut out the video footage of him with it, so it gets rid of a lot of the green. From there what I want to do is get rid of the green screen entirely. So you go in with a little like pin drop tool or whatever, and you pick the color green that's usually about closest to him as you can get, so you can get a real nice fine edge, and then that kind of blacks out the rest of the green screen. Up next, you want to get a good contrast between the footage that you're going to keep and use between that of everything else that you're going to want to black out. So you kind of map it out that way, and then you darken and lighten it so you have a real clear cut between the two footages. After that, it's pretty elementary. You just put in the background layer footage of cosmic energy or whatever that I want behind him, and voila, you have your Yu-Gi-Oh channel standing in front of cosmic background. Alright, so that's going to do it for this episode of Behind the Scenes of Yugitubing. Remember to let me know what you think of the secret origins of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anonymous meeting down in the comment section below, and how it's kind of morphed and changed and whatnot. And I guess that's it for this episode. This is GalacticGod, out.